Hi, my name is Colin. I'm the assistant manager at Covey. Today we're out here on one of our local streams and we're going to be talking about grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are found in a lot of our local areas. They're not going to be consistent with an aquatic insect that we also like to fish with because they are a terrestrial. So basically that means that their entire life is lived on the land, unlike a lot of those other insects that we like to imitate. The grasshoppers are going to start their life as little eggs on the ground in the fall. They're going to lay dormant and they're going to hopefully survive through the winter and make it to the spring. Once the spring comes, those eggs are going to hatch into little grasshopper nymphs. Not underwater nymphs, but that's just going to be the term that we call the adolescent grasshoppers that are going to be wandering around the surface of the land. So those grasshoppers are herbivores. They're going to eat plants and grass and things like that until they can start going through different molt cycles and become an adult. A fully grown grasshopper is going to be found around July, August, September, back into that fall where their life cycle is going to restart. But those months that I just mentioned are going to be our prime time for grasshopper fishing season. There are over 11,000 species of grasshoppers. They come in a variety of colors, sizes, shapes. So the best thing to do before you go fishing with grasshopper patterns is to check with your local shop and kind of figure out what kind of grasshoppers are in the area. Fortunately for us at Covey, we live in an environment that's pretty arid, so pretty dry, and that is a great place for grasshoppers to survive. You can find a lot of grasshoppers, especially if you go south of us to like the Arkansas River and that similar area. To reiterate, different places are going to require different types of grasshoppers. So the way that I look at it is you can have big grasshoppers, small grasshoppers, or importantly, natural grasshoppers that really look like one of the grasshoppers you're going to find in the area, or just good old attractor grasshoppers like this purple chubby right here. Some grasshoppers are going to be more effective in different areas. For example, you might go to a river that works really well with attractors, and this could be a really important pattern for you to have in your box. Rigging for grasshoppers is pretty straightforward. We're just going to take a 7.5 foot or a 9 foot tapered leader. We're going to attach that to our line, and from there you can throw on a single grasshopper, right? Very straightforward. Or you can also incorporate a couple different tactics that can be really effective when you're fishing with grasshoppers. Right here, I've got our basic grasshopper, right? We've got our purple chubby pattern, and then I've tied a clinch knot to the bend of this hook, and from there, I've got my nymph hanging below. It's going to be about 14 to 16 inches below this purple chubby, but the idea is that I can fish this hopper pattern with a dropper below it and give that fish two different options to eat. So to fish this hopper dropper setup, where I've got my dry fly up top, my nymph down below, you're basically going to make a nice cast, and you're going to watch that hopper almost like it's an indicator. So if that indicator makes any sudden movements or makes any unnatural movements, you're basically going to set the hook, and hopefully you'll have a fish there on the nymph. But it also gives them the option to eat that hopper. So if that fish decides to come up and smoke that hopper, it's going to be pretty obvious, and you'll just want to set the hook then. Another way we like to fish these hoppers is by doing a double dry system. So same idea where you're going to add your tippet below your grasshopper, but instead of adding a nymph, you're going to add another dry fly. Other terrestrial patterns pair great with grasshoppers. I usually like to have a larger grasshopper and then maybe a smaller ant or beetle or something of that same nature. So you'll just fish this like a typical dry fly. And if you have a smaller dropper type dry fly, you're just going to watch your indicator of the hopper. And if that indicator moves unnaturally, you're going to set the hook. Otherwise, if you can see both flies perfectly, then you'll be good to go. Thank you everybody for watching, and if you have any questions about hoppers or are looking to pick up some hopper patterns, be sure to contact us at Anglers Covey. You can give us a call, stop in the shop. Any of our expert staff are going to be more than willing to help you get squared away with anything grasshopper related, so you can go out on the river and have a good time and get some really fun hopper eats.